I have heard that there is evidence to suggest Harry lied on his visa application. Recently, I've heard that there is evidence to suggest Harry lied on his visa application. What I am asking from you is what is the current status of the Heritage Foundation?
He said there's evidence, right there on camera. Not speculation, not rumor. The interviewer looked straight at him and said she's heard there is evidence to suggest Harry lied on his visa application. And he didn't deny it. He didn't push back. He just nodded and kept talking about June 12th. That's the day the State Department starts releasing hundreds of documents. Hundreds, and look, you already know what I'm about to say because you've been paying attention. You've seen the double standard. You've watched this man get away with things that would destroy any ordinary American's life. Now the walls are closing in, and it's not the palace PR machine that's bringing him down. It's a conservative think tank that refused to back off. I need you to stay with me here because the Heritage Foundation is the hero nobody expected. They've been hammering at the State Department's doors for years, trying to pry loose Harry's immigration records. A group of lawyers and policy wonks going up against the Biden administration, the palace, the entire Hollywood machine. And they didn't just file a lawsuit and go home. They kept showing up. They kept filing motions. And now under this new administration, something shifted. The legal director himself said the State Department is responding in a very sincere and serious manner.
And thriving, I would say. And the State Department, in response to our requests, has promised to release potentially hundreds of documents relating to Harry's immigration case. And it's not certain at this stage whether we're going to see the release yet of Prince Harry's immigration application itself, but we are going to see the release of hundreds of documents relating to Prince Harry's application. And the State Department have a new...
Those are his exact words. Sincere and serious. Not dismissive, not stonewalling, cooperative, and that's why June 12th is real. That's why this isn't just another delay. Hundreds of documents are coming, and the Heritage team expects them to be significant, consequential. Documents that will give us a much clearer overall picture.
Deadline in place, June 12th, actually. So I expect that these are going to be very significant documents that are going to give us a much clearer overall picture. And I think this will be a very significant...
But here's the question you should be asking right now. What exactly did Harry put on that form? You know the story. He wrote a whole book bragging about drug use, cocaine, psychedelics, marijuana. He laughed about it on Netflix. He cashed the checks, but a U.S. visa application specifically asks about drug use. It's a federal form. Lying on it is a felony.
Potentially deportation from the United States. And so lying on a federal application is a very serious offense. And Prince Harry will...
And if he checked no and the truth was yes, he's in serious trouble. The interviewer said she's heard there is evidence to suggest Harry lied on his visa application. Evidence, not suspicion. Something concrete enough that she felt confident saying it out loud in a recorded hearing while questioning the Heritage Foundation's legal director. And he didn't correct her. He didn't say, hold on, we don't know that yet. He just acknowledged the legal stakes, deportation, up to 5 years in prison, or both.
Prince Harry, this is an ongoing legal campaign and legal case. The State Department has been very cooperative with our legal request.
And you know what really gets under my skin? While these documents were being fought over behind closed doors, while the clock was ticking toward accountability, Harry wasn't showing any humility. He flew to Ukraine and stood on a stage attacking the President of the United States.
I mean, I completely agree with you. And what does it do to support your case when Harry goes to the Ukraine and he stands on a stage representing we don't know who or what, but challenges President Trump and challenges Putin and potentially disrupts a state visit that's days away where we're, trying to renegotiate the special relationship.
Let that sink in. The very president whose administration now holds the fate of his immigration status in its hands. Harry went to Ukraine making political statements, barbed remarks against President Trump.
Especially just ahead of the state visit, deeply unhelpful, and of course, a political attack on President Trump, who I might add actually, in the past has done.
Disrupting a state visit, challenging the renegotiation of the special relationship, representing nobody knows who. And the heritage director didn't mince words. He called it an act of massive narcissism. He said Harry cares only about himself and Meghan is absolutely the same. Incredibly narcissistic individuals.
Does that prove your point that it is in the public interest to know how he's in the United States, who he's representing?
Yeah, I think that Prince Harry really cares only about himself, and also, of course, Meghan Markle is absolutely the same, and they are incredibly narcissistic individuals. And this is why, Prince Harry made these statements in Ukraine, attention-grabbing statements, just before his.
Those are his words, not mine. He said Harry made those statements just before his father was visiting the United States. Attention-grabbing, deliberately undermining the royal family.
His father is visiting the United States, and also for Prince Harry, who remains a member of the royal family, to basically make an attack on the US president. I think that's really out of order. And Prince Harry should not be engaging in political matters and making political statements. And especially as a member of the royal family, he should not be engaging in political matters. That's not his role. But this was yet another act of massive narcissism by Prince Harry here.
And this is the part nobody talks about. Harry still carries those royal titles, still uses them when it suits him. But the moment protocol requires staying out of politics, he tramples all over it. The heritage director said both of them should be stripped of their titles. They're an embarrassment. His words. But honestly, can any of us argue?
And engaging in any kind of political activity. They undermine the royal family. They don't care about the royal family. They're in it for themselves, Kinsey. That's the reality. And I think that they really, frankly, are an embarrassment to the royal family.
After everything we've witnessed, after the attacks on family, after the endless lectures from a California mansion, after the rules that applied to everyone else got bent into pretzels, can we really pretend this isn't exactly what it looks like? Now here's where it gets interesting. The Heritage Foundation isn't just fighting for paperwork. They're fighting for a principle. They said clearly, we're doing this on behalf of the American people. There is a clear public interest in the release of these records. No one is above the law.
I think it'll be a very significant day. June 12th is the next deadline. And we're doing this really on behalf of the American people because we believe there is a clear public interest in the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. He should be held to account. No one is above the law. And if indeed Harry lied, if he lied on his application, then he will face legal consequences, including.
You've said it multiple times. If Harry lied, he will face the full weight of American law. He should be held to account. And that's the part that makes this feel different. It's not just us saying it anymore. It's not just comment sections and independent media. A major conservative legal operation is on record in federal proceedings demanding that Harry face the same consequences anyone else would face. And they believe this administration actually acts in the interest of the American people.
And we do have a U.S. administration in place that we believe really does act in the interest of the American people, and they have been very cooperative with regard to our legal requests.
They've been treated cooperatively. June 12th is the next stage.
And so June 12th is simply the next stage here. And I do believe that some of the documents released will be significant and consequential. So we shall have to see what is exactly contained.
And the director's view is that ultimately we will see the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. It's just a matter of time.
Our campaign and our legal case continues, and we're fighting to win this, Kinsey. And I do believe ultimately we are going to prevail in seeing the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. It's just a matter of time, really.
I mean, I completely agree with you.
And I just need to pause here for a moment and speak directly, quietly, just you and me. Because I know you've been watching this for years. I know you've felt that frustration when the headlines always seem to protect him. When the same media that rips apart anyone else suddenly went silent on the visa question. When every time the truth got close, someone changed the subject. You started to wonder if accountability was just for little people. But here's what I want you to hold on to. You were right, all along. That quiet voice that said something doesn't add up, that felt the injustice in your gut, that was discernment. And here we are, weeks away from the moment the curtain gets pulled back. Not because the media finally grew a spine, but because a small group of people refuse to stop asking questions. That's the power of persistence. And it proves that the truth can still break through. But before I get to what's actually in these documents, I need to address something that's been bothering me. Harry's defenders keep saying he's being targeted. Targeted. Let's think about that. He admitted to drug use in his own book. Voluntarily. Nobody tortured that confession out of him. He sold a story for millions, and now the legal system is simply asking whether he was honest on a federal form. That's not targeting. That's called following the law. Something you and I have to do every single day. If I lied on a federal application, I would be in handcuffs by sunset. My life would be over. But Harry spent years in luxury, praised by the very people who attack everyone else. And whenever anyone asked questions, they were shouted down, branded as crazy. The coordinated silence was a cover-up. We all knew it. The way the previous administration kept his records sealed, the way the media refused to ask hard questions. It was all designed to protect one man from the consequences every other immigrant would face. And if you're feeling angry right now, good, hold on to that. Because that's what righteous indignation feels like. And you're not alone. Millions of Americans are watching this, and they're done with the double standard. The Heritage director said something else that stuck with me. He said if Harry has nothing to hide, he should support the full release.
Face very serious consequences if he lied on his application. So if Harry has nothing to hide, he should support the full release of his immigration records here. But ultimately, Kinsey, I believe we are going to win this.
Of his immigration records. But he doesn't support it, does he? He's been silent. The same man who can't stop talking about his truth suddenly has nothing to say. And that silence is deafening. Because if Harry had disclosed everything honestly, he'd be shouting it from the rooftops. He'd release the records himself. He'd prove his critics wrong. But he hasn't, and we all know why. These documents, the ones coming on June 12th, they're going to show internal State Department discussions, legal maneuvers, red flags that someone tried to bury. Even if we don't get the full application itself right away, the hundreds of documents being released will expose who knew what and when. That's the significant and consequential part. And you have to wonder what else is buried in there. What other questions did State Department officials raise? Who tried to make this go away and why? The Heritage Foundation has been fighting this legal campaign with a level of determination that frankly humbles me. They've been beaten down, delayed, stonewalled, and they're still standing. They truly believe they're going to win. It's a matter of time. Those were the exact words. A matter of time. And when they do win, when those documents hit the public, if they reveal what we all suspect, it won't just be Harry facing consequences. It'll be every person who helped him hide the truth, every official who looked the other way, every media outlet that refused to cover the story. They'll all have to answer for why they protected a prince while throwing ordinary people to the wolves. So what happens now? We wait. June 12th is the next deadline. Hundreds of documents dropping. The Heritage team is confident. The State Department is cooperating. And Harry is probably losing sleep knowing his entire American life hangs in the balance. The stakes could not be higher. Deportation, prison, or both. The question I want to leave you with tonight is simple. Do you think he'll actually face consequences? Will the documents drop uncensored? Or will the establishment find a way to bury this at the last minute? Because I'll be honest with you, I've been disappointed before, but something feels different this time. The anger is out in the open. The Heritage Foundation has legitimized everything we've been saying. And on June 12th, we might finally get the proof. Let me know what you think in the comments, because this story is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning.